Hi again, everyone. My name is Vita, and I did a book review previously on this book, The Flight of the Feathered Serpent by Armando Cosani, and I wanted to continue on and look into this book a bit more and read to you just two passages two scenes from the first book that really struck with me. And I wanted to thank everyone for their comments and reflections on my first video. It seems like this book has reached a lot of people in many different ways, and as Belzebub said in the beginning of this book in the foreword, that it's one of those books that you can just keep coming back to for inspiration, for spiritual sustenance. It's just a well of awesomeness, I guess. So I thought I would read to you just two scenes that I really enjoyed. The first one is just a short conversation, and he's talking about waking up. So the author writes, "I was especially interested about the food of the soul, but he insisted that first it was necessary to wake up. What are you trying to tell me with that business of waking up?" I asked him one day. "You still haven't realized? The awakening or the watchfulness that I'm talking about is difficult but not impossible. It is a continuous and permanent groping of one's way for a long time, until we manage to understand our fallacies. But the great moment arrives to whom maintains the effort alive. Then the latent possibilities within man are noticed. It is something that one knows. One doesn't need to be told or to have it interpreted by anyone. One discovers in the body that there are different types of life, different levels. Then one no longer walks blind. One knows where he is heading and knows the reason why he does everything that he does. The Gospels turn into a very valuable guide. So you see, neither of us can say that we are disciples of a being as magnificent and glorious as Jesus Christ, and believe ourselves to be awake. In the Garden of Gethsemane, the apostles, the disciples, remained asleep. My friend said these last words with such a reverent tone that it impressed me. His eyes began to fill with tears, and he let them run down his cheeks without being ashamed of it. What followed, he said in a faltering voice with such powerful emotion that, for an instant, it also shook me. I was puzzled. He continued saying, "An apostle is by himself a superior man, and Jesus was of an intelligence that earth has rarely seen. However, there are those who think that he surrounded himself with idiots and fools. The apostles had a will tested against many odds, otherwise they wouldn't have been able to live near Jesus. However, they all failed Jesus in his last days, and that is the history of man's internal development. Ups and downs." I don't know, I really found that interesting because it seems like in this book, this man, his friend, has this element of mystery surrounding him. Like, who is he? How does he know all of this, information? It seems like he really has this insight on, the times of Jesus and the apostles, and disciples. So I just found that really interesting. And also what he says is just, pretty amazing. So the next one that I wanted to read is, it's another scene between the two men, of course, and I guess as this man has furthered his career, he sort of started doing things that weren't necessarily the right thing to do. They were, possibly illegal. He just sort of started going downhill with his personal life, and things escalated and started to get pretty chaotic. And he was looking for for advice from his friend. And this is a conversation that they had. "I explained to him all the things that I had turned into a dreadful dilemma within me, that infernal circle of lies which I had fallen into. He listened with great attention and asked me some questions to clarify certain points that I didn't want to state openly. He reflected for an instant when I finished. 'What do you have to say?' I asked him. 'What do you want me to say?' 'What I need to do. Cut from the root, break out from everything, leave all of this and start again.' 'But are you crazy?' 'No, you're the crazy one. Look how far you have gone.' And going towards the bathroom, he pulled a bottle out of the cabinet which contained pills of a stimulant that I needed daily to activate my nervous system, to be able to maintain such a pace of life. When I saw him with the bottle in his hand, I realized a lot of things. His amazing power of observation, his real goodness, and the fondness he professed towards me, but I feel that things had gone too far to change them. I lowered my head in silence. 'Thank goodness you have a bit of shame left,' he told me. Take advantage of it and take up the course of your life again before it ends completely. Soon you will go from this stimulant to drugs, and when you feel the need to run away from the rubbish you live in, the punching bag and the boxing gloves will disappear and you will put pornographic pictures in their place. Now, that love that you have in your life can help you, but if you don't understand it, if you don't stick to it with all your strength, if you continue to give in to temptation in this way, you will lose love and look for orgies. You know well that I can't leave my work. You know what it is about. You know that it is the war. That's up to you. You asked me what you should do and I have answered you. I have nothing else to tell you. It was then when I committed a regrettable error. Listen, I said to him, you are more intelligent than I am. I will give you half of what I have and of what I earn if you help me to come out of this. He looked at me in silence, without saying a word. I realized too late how I had hurt him. I saw how tears showed in his eyes. He went away overwhelmed by a singular sadness, and when he was already at the door, he said, 30 pieces of silver. Wow, I find that just a really powerful, scene. It's something that, I don't know, I feel like everyone can relate to, just having those kind of inner states within us that, betray us, and that, I don't know, I just found that a really powerful scene. And then it also, as well, like, just, you can feel how this character just, not character, you can feel how this man, his friend, really identifies with Judas, or seems to have this, insight on Judas. So to me, that was just an amazing passage. So that was it. I know this video is also dragging on a lot again, but I wanted to thank everyone for their comments before, and if anyone has any reflections on this first book. I know I'm just sort of working my way through the first book, and the second book contains so much, but the first book, to me, I really like that as well, because, just the conversations that this friend has, there's a lot of insight as well in there too. So that's all for now, and thanks everyone, and all the strength. Thanks. Bye.